Think about the last time you had to leave a review for a plumber or like an AC repairman.
Oh, yeah. Usually not a great day.
Right. Chances are it was the middle of July. You were furious, sweating through your shirt, and, just feeling like you're about to be severely overcharged.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's an industry that's basically entirely built on emergency and stress.
Exactly. So how on earth does a home service brand rack up, get this, nearly 200,000 reviews with an average rating of 4.81 out of 5?
I mean, that is a wild data point.
It really is. And today we're looking at the exact opposite of like a trendy flash in the pan franchise. Whether you are a corporate professional eyeing an exit strategy, an aspiring entrepreneur ready to build real equity, or even an existing business owner looking to expand your portfolio, we are unpacking the business model, the unit economics, and the growth strategies behind the largest HVAC service provider in the United States. We're talking about 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning.
Yeah, it is just a fascinating case study in franchise buyer psychology because so many investors get caught up in chasing the glamorous concepts, you know, the things that look great on a social media feed.
Oh, for sure. The flashy stuff.
Right. But the most reliable, recession-resistant wealth is almost always built in the essential services. We are talking about the things homeowners actively try not to think about until they break. And at that point, price becomes secondary to speed and trust.
Okay, let's unpack this, because that 4.81 rating out of almost 200,000 reviews is the thing I keep coming back to. I mean, an HVAC brand scaling across the country to 385 units is an impressive operational feat in itself.
Oh, absolutely.
But managing to maintain that level of nearly flawless consumer consistency in an industry historically known for unpredictable independent contractors, let's figure out how they are actually engineering that experience.
Well, to understand the execution, we really had to look at the psychology of the essential service space first, because this is fundamentally different from discretionary spending.
Right, like buying a latte versus fixing a pipe.
Exactly. If someone is deciding whether to buy a gym membership or, like you said, a specialty coffee, their decision is influenced by trends, disposable income, marketing. But if it is freezing outside and a home's heating system fails, purchasing a repair isn't optional. It is an immediate necessity.
So the demand is just baked right into the environment.
It is. You aren't trying to convince someone they need a working furnace. You're basically just trying to convince them that you are the most reliable person to fix it.
Which means the barrier to capturing that consumer isn't awareness, it's absolute trust.
Precisely. And 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning secures that trust through consumer guarantees that are, quite frankly, unheard of in the traditional trades. Like, they offer a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee that is valid for 2 full years from the date of service.
Wait, 2 years?
2 full years.
2 years in a home service environment feels like a lifetime. I mean, there's so many variables in a home's ecosystem over 24 months.
It is a massive commitment. But the mechanism that really drives their conversion rate at the door is their trademarked promise. It's always on time, or you don't pay a dime.
Okay, I gotta play devil's advocate here.
Go for it.
I'm looking at this always on time guarantee, and if I'm a new franchise owner, that actually terrifies me. Like, traffic exists, flat tires happen, appointments run long. Are franchisees really expected to just eat the cost of a full service call because of, I don't know, a localized traffic jam? Giving the consumer a weapon to use against you sounds like a fast track to draining your margins.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. And it does sound like a massive liability until you analyze why that guarantee was designed in the first place. What's fascinating here is you have to view it as a forcing function for operational excellence.
A forcing function.
Yeah, it's like bowling with the bumpers up. By making that very public promise to the consumer, the corporate franchisor has essentially backed themselves into a corner where they must provide the franchisee with a bulletproof routing and dispatching system.
Oh, I see.
Right, they have to give you the exact tools, the software, and the training to ensure your technicians are never actually late.
Wait, so instead of just hoping a technician shows up on time and, crossing their fingers, the franchise is engineering an environment where they mathematically can't fail.
Exactly. It shifts the burden from the individual technician's time management to the centralized software's route optimization. And when the technician finally stands in the customer's living room, that guarantee has already done the heavy lifting.
Because the customer is completely disarmed.
Yes. They trust the technician because the brand put its own money on the line. And that level of trust makes the actual repair service incredibly sellable.
That makes total sense. So if a franchisee is guaranteeing punctuality like that, they definitely cannot afford to run their business on like sticky notes and whiteboards.
No, absolutely not.
The infrastructure has to be ironclad. So if I'm stepping into this as a new owner, what does the operational system physically look like in practice? How do I actually run this day to day?
So the backbone of the model is a fully integrated growth system called the OpX System. And this is designed to systematically prevent the two major pitfalls in home services, which are revenue stagnation and unpredictable call volume.
Okay.
And a critical pillar of OpX is the Success Academy.
Now, usually when I hear training academy in a franchise context, I picture a dusty binder on a shelf, or maybe a couple of really outdated onboarding videos that an owner watches once and completely forgets.
Right, and that is exactly where independent operators often struggle. They train a technician on how to fix a wire, but they don't train their staff on how to run a business. Success Academy is an ongoing, comprehensive platform offering over 200 remote modules alongside in-person training.
200 modules.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it isn't just for the owner. It is structured career pathing for everyone in the building. So a dispatcher learns how to de-escalate a panicked homeowner. A field technician learns how to communicate complex pricing without sounding like a pushy salesperson.
Which naturally leads to the technology running the show, right? Because training is great, but if the software is clumsy, the operation still falls apart.
Exactly. And this is where we look at their proprietary software, Successware. To really understand its value, let's look at the pain points of a traditional independent operation.
Okay, paint the picture for me.
Picture a scenario where a technician finishes a repair, scribbles a part number on a greasy paper invoice, and hands it to a dispatcher at the end of the day.
Classic.
Right. Then that dispatcher has to manually type that data into an accounting software while simultaneously trying to update a completely separate calendar application.
Oh man, the margin for human error there is massive. You're dealing with double data entry, lost paperwork, and probably inventory shortages because the systems just aren't talking to each other.
Precisely. And Successware eliminates that entire chaotic middle step. It is a fully integrated platform handling dispatching, marketing, and finance, all in one centralized place.
So it's an all-in-one hub?
Yes. And crucially, it includes a tablet app for the field technicians. So the technician inputs the data on site. The customer views the straightforward pricing guide right on the tablet, which eliminates hidden fees and builds more trust.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. And once the customer approves it, the data instantly syncs with the owner's financial dashboard back at the office.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because if you're a corporate professional listening to this deep dive right now, maybe you're, I don't know, an operations director or a VP of sales, your biggest hesitation in looking at a home service franchise is probably, I don't know, the first thing about repairing a duct system.
Yep, that's the #1 fear.
But what we're describing here isn't a mechanic's job. This is an executive's job. This is a digital central nervous system.
The genius of this model is that it translates your white-collar skill set directly into a blue-collar industry. The system is designed for the semi-absentee investor or the non-technical owner.
You just manage the system.
Exactly. You do not need to be in a crawl space fixing an air conditioner. You need to be able to read a P&L statement, track conversion rates on a dashboard, and manage teams' KPIs. The franchise system handles all the technical scaffolding so you can focus strictly on scaling the enterprise.
That's a huge distinction. But, you know, if I'm getting enterprise-level dispatching in this massive digital central nervous system, that engine still needs fuel and it still needs mechanics.
That's true.
In any service business, the software is basically useless if the phone isn't ringing and if you don't have technicians to drive the trucks. And marketing and hiring are notoriously difficult in the trades. So how is the franchisor solving the human element here?
Let's tackle the fuel first, the customer leads.
Yeah.
The philosophy here is simple. Nothing happens in your business until something is sold.
Right.
So instead of forcing a local owner to figure out complex local SEO algorithms or negotiate media buys while also trying to just, run a business, franchisees get access to a full marketing toolbox.
What does that include?
There are dedicated marketing experts at the corporate level who focus on managing public relations, protecting that stellar online reputation we talked about, and actively driving leads into your specific territory.
Okay, taking the marketing burden off the owner makes a ton of sense. But the other side of that coin is human capital. And I have to push back a bit on the hiring aspect.
Okay, let's hear it.
I mean, we are in a highly competitive labor market where skilled tradespeople can basically write their own ticket. The source materials highlight a strategic partnership with CareerPlug to source talent, but is a software partnership really enough to build a reliable team? Anyone can post a job listing on the internet.
It is a valid concern.
Yeah.
But if we connect this to the bigger picture, you have to look at the entire retention ecosystem, not just the recruiting software.
The retention ecosystem.
Yeah. Sourcing a candidate through CareerPlug is just step one. Step two is why they actually stay. Think about this from the perspective of a highly skilled HVAC technician. They have spent years honing their craft. Do they want to work for an independent shop where dispatching is chaotic, pricing is made up on the fly, and they're constantly facing angry customers because the office messed up the schedule?
Definitely not. That sounds like a miserable daily grind. The
Yeah.
technician basically ends up bearing the brunt of the owner's disorganization.
Exactly. Now contrast that with an owner utilizing Successware. The technician's route is optimized so they aren't driving back and forth across town all day.
Right.
The customer is already primed and happy because of the brand's national reputation and that punctuality guarantee we talked about. The technician has clear, ongoing professional development through Success Academy, and the local owner is being mentored by a personal franchise business consultant, an FBC, on how to build a strong workplace culture.
So you are essentially giving blue-collar workers a white-collar corporate support structure.
That's exactly it.
That completely changes the retention game. People don't just leave jobs for more money, they leave because they are frustrated with broken systems. If you provide the tools for them to succeed seamlessly, it elevates a trade job into a true professional career path.
And when the operations are smooth, the employees are happy. When the employees are happy, the customer gets that 4.8-star experience. It is a self-sustaining cycle of retention.
Okay, so if an owner is getting this level of infrastructure, enterprise software, national marketing teams, a built-in recruiting pipeline, and structured coaching, my immediate thought as an investor is that buying into this system is going to cost an absolute fortune.
Natural.
When we look at standard franchise models, getting this level of support usually requires massive capital. So what does it actually take to buy the keys to this machine? Let's talk unit economics.
This is where the numbers become highly compelling for the aspiring franchise buyer. They have been franchising this model since 2003, which means you are stepping into a highly mature, stress-tested system.
Okay, established brand.
Very established. The total investment range falls between $130,392 and $274,076.
Wait, under $300,000 on the high end?
Yep.
We routinely look at franchise models that require $500,000 to well over $1 million just to get the doors open.
I know. The reason this is so accessible really comes down to the mechanics of a service-based model. Unlike concepts that require a sprawling commercial lease, heavy architectural build-outs, and massive equipment installations before you make a single dollar, this is a mobile operation.
All right.
You are not building out a retail storefront. You scale this business truck by truck.
So your capital isn't trapped in drywall and commercial real estate. It's deployed directly into revenue-generating assets. That is incredibly efficient. What are the specific financial requirements to qualify for this?
You need a minimum net worth of $150,000 and a liquid cash requirement of $75,000.
Very reasonable.
It operates on a standard 10-year renewable agreement. The ongoing fees are straightforward, a 6% royalty fee and up to a 1.5% ad royalty fee. And there is a very significant detail for any listener with a military background. They offer a substantial 30% discount for veterans.
Wow. A 30% discount on the initial fee is a massive advantage. That is real, liquid capital staying in the veteran owner's pocket during those crucial early launch months.
It accelerates their runway significantly. And this specific investment tier really is a sweet spot. It offers a lower barrier to entry, but immense uncapped scalability.
Because you just keep adding trucks.
Exactly. Your revenue isn't limited by how many tables you can fit in a dining room. If you want to grow your territory, you add another truck and another technician to the route.
I love that. Now, I want to touch on something we haven't fully explored yet. 1 hour heating and air conditioning isn't just operating in a vacuum. There is a much larger corporate backing here, isn't there?
There is, and this is perhaps the most crucial strategic advantage for the ambitious investor. The brand is part of the Authority Brands family.
Authority brands, okay.
This is a massive multi-brand portfolio of in-home service companies. We are talking about sibling brands operating under the same umbrella, like Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, Mr. Sparky Electrical, the Cleaning Authority, and several others.
So how does that actually benefit the local HVAC owner? What does being part of a portfolio mean for their bottom line?
It means you are tapping into the leveraged power of a home services giant. You are getting a caliber of technology, national vendor discounts, and marketing data that an independent contractor could never dream of affording.
That makes sense.
But more importantly, for the investor looking to build a true enterprise, it presents a streamlined pathway for multi-brand expansion.
Okay, let's play that out. So if I buy the 1 Hour territory, dominate my local HVAC market, and build a massive database of loyal homeowners, you were saying I'm perfectly positioned to buy the Benjamin Franklin Plumbing territory right next to it.
Exactly. You are cross-selling to the exact same customer base. The same marketing dollar that acquired the homeowner for an AC repair now serves as a warm introduction for their plumbing needs.
Because the trust is already established.
Right.
If I trust the 1 Hour technician who fixed my air conditioner in the middle of the night and that company says, by the way, our sister company can fix your leaky water heater, I am hiring them instantly. I'm not going back to Google to read reviews for a stranger. You are basically capturing a larger share of the homeowner's total wallet.
And this raises a fundamental shift in how you should view the industry. And it is the thought I want to leave you with today. We really need to rethink the future of home services.
How so?
Well, it is an incredibly intimate act to be invited into someone's private home to fix a core system they rely on for survival and comfort. Once you own that relationship through a trusted, highly professional interaction, especially when you put your money on the line to guarantee your punctuality and quality, you do not just own an AC repair business.
Yeah.
You hold the keys to their entire home maintenance ecosystem. I challenge you to look past the surface of what seems like a boring trade and think about how mastering one essential service could be the absolute best stepping stone to building a multi-unit, multi-brand empire.
That is a brilliant reframe. Thank you for joining us as we unpack the mechanics behind the model. Keep questioning the conventional wisdom, look for the essential needs hiding in plain sight, and as always, keep learning.